This is an $80 pair of over-ear headphones from EarFun, and this is a $350 very popular set of headphones from Sony, the XM4s. But which of these are the better buy? The more expensive version or the more budget-friendly version? Well, I've tried both of them for a very long time, and I'd love to tell you what I think. So, let's talk tech. I'm Agent with Ardently Tech, and full disclaimer, EarFun did send us their Wave Pros to review and sponsor this video, but that does not mean I'm going to take it easy on them. I'm going to give you my honest thoughts and reactions to these headphones, especially when I'm comparing them to the Sony WH1000-XM4s. But I think the best place to start when comparing two products is to look at the features and what they have to offer on paper, so let's go check it out. Both of these headphones offer active noise cancellation, transparency mode. They both also have 3.5mm jacks that will let you use the headphones without power and plug it into directly your Switch or your other devices like your laptop, your iPads, or whatever you need it to connect it to. They also both have Multipoint Connection, which gives you the ability to connect to two different devices at the same time and switch between them simultaneously. They both have a really nice foldable design and come with a nice case that keeps it nice and compact and protected. They also both sport 40mm drivers that deliver really great sound and an app to come with it to customize your EQ settings if you want to change that up a little bit. And they both have high-res audio capabilities. And what the Sony XM4s have that the EarFun Wave Pros don't have is like the wear detection and touch controls on the side. And the Sonys are going to cost $350 retails, but at the time of this recording you can actually get them for around $248. And sometimes during some sales you can even find them sub $200, which is an amazing deal if you can find them at that price. The EarFun Wave Pros have buttons instead of touch controls, which isn't a bad thing. Some people might even prefer that. And they might not have wear detection, but they have a much longer battery life compared to the XM4s. And for the price, the EarFun Wave Pros retail at $80, but with this code right here, the EWP25 off, at checkout on Amazon, you can get it down to just $60. Thinking of how massive a price difference that is, that's almost 4 times less than the XM4s. Now that price difference is crazy and it feels like I shouldn't be comparing these two headphones side by side, and you'll see why that's even crazier when we talk about the features more in depth. So let's go over some of those features now, starting with the sound quality. Now on my earlier reviews I did mess up and not mention sound quality. I just kind of got stuck in the features, but that's because I am not an audiophile, and I say that in every review, and you probably, those of you who watch all of our headphone reviews probably are tired of hearing this, but I'm not an audiophile. We're not audiophiles. I have learned a little bit more and more as I've done this reviews and what I like and what I don't like, but I think that preference really changes from person to person. While I don't really care for too heavy bass music, I just want more of a balanced and unique sound. Both of these deliver that. I will say I think the Sonys do have a richer sounding bass than the EarFun Wave Pros do, but I can only notice that when I'm comparing them side by side, taking them off and trying out the other pairs and just switching between them quickly, because the sound quality on the Wave Pros out of the box is really good. And as I mentioned, for those of you who do care and want to have high-res audio, these headphones do have that, just like the Sony WH1000-XM4s. But generally, to my ears, there is very little difference when listening to these side by side, and I don't think you're gonna notice that much of a difference if you don't have something to compare them to already. And on to the next feature is the active noise cancellation and transparency mode. Now, these EarFun Wave Pros do a really great job at both, but the Sony XM4s really just are one of the industry standards for active noise cancellation, and it's really hard to beat. But the cool thing that they do have to offer in the app is the different levels of noise cancellation that you might need. So they have like the strongest noise cancellation ever, and then it goes down to comfort ANC, wind noise cancellation, ambient sound, which is the transparency mode, and then just normal, nothing, none of those on, which is where you would want to be if you wanted your batteries to last as long as it can. When it comes to noise cancellation, Sony definitely still holds the title and is not even touched by these, but again, when considering the price and how great they are, it's really impressive. The next feature is one of my favorite features, and if you feature that channel, you know that this is one of my favorite features. It's Multipoint Connection, which is again the ability to connect to two different devices. As someone who holds, who's trying both cell phones right now on the iPhone and the Google Pixel Pro, I can be simultaneously connected to them and switch between them seamlessly without having to like disconnect them from one device and reconnect them to the other. And I will say they are pretty quick most of the time. I will say the only time where I really see it lag is when I connect it to my MacBook and my iPhone. There's sometimes like it doesn't register that I'm done listening to whatever I'm listening to on my MacBook and trying to switch to my iPhone. And that's the case for a lot of multi-point connecting devices and earbuds. Before I go on, if you found this video helpful so far, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And let us know in the comments if you're considering picking these up for either the school year, for travel, or for just for having to have during the workouts or anything like that. Are you considering picking them up? Please consider using our affiliate links, which are pinned in the description below. That helps support our channel. We get a little bit of your sale at no cost to you, and it helps us support and continue doing videos like this. Now let's talk about the build quality of these headphones, and let's start with the weight. Now I think the earphones are technically 0.4 ounces heavier than the Sony XM4s, but you can't really tell. I say that because I've used both of these during workouts and they are pretty nice to have in ears, and I never get tired of having them on my head like I've had issues with other heavier, more extensively clampy headphones. Like these don't clamp as hard and they built are so well. Most of it's plastic, sure, but I think it keeps the weight down really well, and the headband and the cups feel really comfortable around the ear. I do love how both of them fold up into a nice portable design. It's easier to carry in my carry-on bag or in my little sling bag that I carry on around time to time. And if I need to travel with them, they come with a nice travel case. I do think I prefer the EarFun Wave Pro case because it's a little bit easier to know which ear cup needs to be folded and which doesn't in the case, versus like the Sony's case is kind of, I don't know, I always find myself switching, getting mixed up on as to which side needs to fold up when putting it back in the case. It's a very small thing, but it's something that I noticed. That said, I do think I prefer the way that the XM4s fit on my head versus the Wave Pros, because the XM4s just sit nice and flat around my head, versus when I put these on, there is a little gap that you can see, and it's not the biggest deal. A lot of headphones do that. I don't think it looks as cool or look as great as the XM4s do. Both of them also have great apps that, you know, compare and update the firmware, but also lets you customize all your settings, especially the EQ settings, which again, you can make any headphones sound great or customize it to your preference for the most part, whether you like more bass, less bass, or more vocal enhancements or whatever. Both of the apps have a little bit of everything. We can toggle on certain settings, and you can even turn on, for the Wave Pros, turn on like low latency settings, which is also great if you want to use these to game. And other features that are kind of important, I mean, the battery life I mentioned already earlier, but the battery life on the EarFun Wave Pros is insane. 80 hours total if you take off any active noise cancelling transparency mode and you just keep it straight. 80 hours. If you turn on active noise cancellation, that's 50 hours. The Sony WH1000-XM4s have a total of 30 hours at the max capacity. I feel like I'll probably have to charge this maybe like once a year. I mean, I don't use them every day. If you're using them every day, that obviously will change, but I do enjoy having headphones that have a lot of battery life where I don't have to think about charging them, and chances are if I forget them for a few months and put them back on, they'll still have a lot of juice left in them. I think that's great. Another thing is the touch controls. I do prefer the Sony touch controls over the buttons that come on the EarFun headphones, because on the Sony's there's no buttons for the volume or the next button, but the swipe gestures are really easy to do and easy to figure out, versus the button layout on the EarFun Wave Pros. They have just like a volume up and down, a power on button, and then the noise cancellation toggle. And it took me a little bit to realize that the volume button was also like you have to like press and hold to skip to the next song, versus if I wanted to just skip back to a song with my Sony's, it's just a quick swipe back or swipe forward, versus these it takes a little bit longer. You have to hold it, and it's just, you know, a very small nitpick thing, but again, it's just something that I noticed in my use. Now let's do a quick mic quality check on the EarFun Wave Pros. This is what the mic sounds when I'm leaving a voice memo on my iPhone with the headphone microphones. How do they sound? Is it passable? Do they sound great? Is it not great? Do I sound tinny? This is a voice message I'm leaving from one phone to the other using the EarFun Wave Pros. Do they sound a little bit different using a call versus a voice memo, voice recording? Let me know if you hear a difference. Now, this is a mic quality test on the Sony WH1000-XM4s, recording a voice memo on my iPhone right now with the microphones on these headphones. Do they sound good? Do they sound bad? And do they sound better than the EarFun Wave Pros? This is a call quality test with the Sony WH1000-XM4s, leaving a voice message on my
one phone to my other phone. How do they sound? Does the call quality or the mic quality test sound different from the recording on the voice memo? Is it any better from the EarFun Wave Pros?
Now I will say I think the call quality was a little bit better on the Sony WH1000-XM4s from a hearer's perspective, but let me know how they sound on your side on the mic quality perspective in the comments below. Overall though, both of these headphones are kind of a great buy. I love the Sony WH1000-XM4s. And now I really do enjoy these more budget-friendly EarFun Wave Pros. They offer a lot of the same features and perform very similarly to these $300 headphones. So for something that retails at $80 at a fraction of that cost, it's just very impressive to me. And again, when comparing them side by side, as someone who's not like necessarily an audiophile or who's looking to hear the every nook and cranny of music, this is really good. Whether you're looking for headphones to work out in, or if you're looking for something to just listen to music to, or something for your commute, I think both of these are going to be a great buy. But if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option that still performs really well compared to the higher end options, then the EarFun Wave Pros is something to consider. At the end of the day, I don't think you're going to be disappointed at any of these purchases, but this one is going to give you the most bang for your buck. Again, thanks to EarFun for sending these to us to give them a try and for sponsoring this video. And if you want to see any of our other videos, or we want to see me review the Sony WH1000-XM4s, which in that video I completely called them the MX4s the entire time, and we didn't catch it till after we went live. But if you want to go watch that video is right here. And if you want to watch any of the other reviews that we've done on headphones or earbuds in this channel, you can check out that playlist right here. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.